Dear learners, now welcome to the last chapter of Unit 3, that is controlling. And as you know, students, this Unit 3 is the greatest unit from Part A, which carries 20 marks in total. And if we talk particularly about this chapter called controlling, 6 out of 20 marks is expected definitely from this chapter. So we are going to cover the three main topics as given in the sample question paper of 24-25, the process of controlling, the importance of controlling as a function, and the link between planning and controlling. So let us see the different topics in detail from NCERT. Now here students, when we talk about the process of controlling, you can easily remember them in the form of acronym as SMCDC. There are the 5 steps of this process. SMCDC, where S represents performance standards, then M represents measurement of those performance, the actual performance of the organization, and C represents the comparison between the actual performance versus the targeted results or standards. And then D represents deviations, calculations for deviations, whether they are favorable or unfavorable. And the last but never the least is the corrective action to be taken in order to rectify the past mistakes and to formulate better plans for future. So let us now see the steps in detail from NCERT. Students, in setting of the performance standards, we are supposed to see that these standards are set up in actual and measurable terms, and they act as the benchmarks for the organization, that where it strives to achieve the goals, and it has to be both quantitative as well as qualitatively set. And for this particular purpose, we have to be very accurate and precise so that the comparison of actual with the targeted results is very accurate. And similarly, the last point that we have to be very careful while setting the standards is they have to be kept flexible enough in order to get modified whenever the changes so in the internal or external business environments, so that we can make some necessary modifications in the realistic situations as per the changes in the business environment. Now the second most step is the measurement of actual performance, that has been taken as M. Now while measuring the actual performance, students, we have to rely on some objective and reliable manner measures, and which includes the personal observation, sample checking, performance reports, and many other methods like this. So there have to be some accuracy in measurements, because again, the accuracy of standards and the measurements will only let us to get at the deviations in a correct manner, that whether they are working in favor or against the companies. So here various ratios are calculated in the form of, as you have read in your accounting ratios chapter, the profitability ratios at periodic intervals have to be calculated in order to arrive at the figures. The company must also measure its sales, the market shares, and efficiency of production. So all these things have to be worked out in measurement. Then CDC. So the third step in controlling process is nothing but the comparison of these actual with the standards so set. So this led us to find the deviations. This is comparison of actual with the standards, where comparisons will reveal the deviations from actual with that of desired results, and the standards are set in quantitative terms, so it is becoming easier for organization to compare the two units. And finally, we can arrive at deviations that have occurred with the letter D. These deviations are expected in all kinds of activities, and there has to be an acceptable range of such deviations beyond which there should be the matter of concern. So when you talk of this point, students, in analysis of deviation, you must mention two sub-points. One is CPC and the other is MBE. With CPC, or you can remember it as KRAs, the key result areas, that is what is to be focused by the organization. यहाँ पर एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन एग्जाम्पल से एक्सप्लेन किया गया है कि जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंसर्न है और उसका 5% इंक्रीज आ रहा है लेबर की कॉस्ट में, तो भी वो मायने रखता है as comparison to 15% increase in the postal charges. क्योंकि postal charges students one time लगेंगे और उसमें 15% का भी increase आ जाए, then that is bearable for the organization. But if it is a manufacturing concern and every time the production process is going on, then the labor cost of increase of even a 5% or let's say 2%, that will also be highly material for the organization, because then the organization will not be achieving its targets with that efficiency as standardized. So we have to see that what are the key result areas that have to be focused upon while arriving at deviations. And secondly, it talks about another major concept of management by exception, which is also based on the technique of the famous saying that an effort to control everything leads to controlling nothing. So therefore, management is advised to not to go not to worry about the minimum deviations that occur and the negligible deviations that occur in the course of time. Rather, there should be some permissible range or acceptable range of deviations that they must admit, and beyond that, if the deviations are occurring, then it should be the matter of concern for the management. Again, a very beautiful example from the book, that the plans have to be set like 2% increase in the labor cost is an acceptable range. So we have already defined the acceptable range. Now only when it increases beyond this 2%, then it should be brought to the notice of the management for actions to be taken. So this is the concept of MBE. So always remember, students, whenever you are writing the point or explaining the process, the step in the controlling process of analyzing deviations, you must talk about CPC, KRAs and MBE. And finally, the last topic of the process, that is add some corrective actions so that the next plan or the better plans can be framed in future, taking the past mistakes in mind. So corrective actions are generally, we have to take the corrective actions only when the deviations we go beyond the acceptable limits of range of limits, and then immediate managerial actions need to be taken, and these corrective actions may involve the training of the employees so that they could meet the target in the future. And similarly, that if an important project is running behind schedule, the corrective action might involve assigning of additional workers or maybe some overtime to the project so as to complete it effectively as well as efficiently. So these corrective actions need to be taken from time to time in order to perform better in the upcoming future. So this is all about the process of controlling, students, where you must remember the acronym as SMCDC, the 5 steps in the process. Now, another important aspect from this chapter would be the importance of the process of controlling. And as you see, students, controlling is basically measurement of accomplishments against the standards and correction of deviations if required for attainment of overall organizational goals. This definition has been given by Kuhns and O'Donnell. So this definition, in the light of this definition, let us read the importance of controlling, which is another important aspect from this chapter. Now, for understanding and memorizing the importance of controlling chapter, dear students, you must remember again a small acronym, and this acronym is, students, GODS CRM. Now you can remember this with a short story. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, and as you know, students, for any kind of business, customers भगवान होते हैं. भगवान की जगह gods, and CRM, the management team, Customer Relationship Management team, is also equivalent to gods. So GODS CRM is the importance of controlling, where G stands for accomplishment of goals. The desired goals have to be achieved in the light of deviations, and the organization, the process of controlling guides an organization to keep it on the right track of achievement of goals. So it is always a goal-oriented, a goal accomplishment process. Then O standing for order, and D also at the same point standing for discipline in the organization. So OD is from the same point, that is order and discipline. The process of controlling creates an atmosphere where everything goes in a controlled manner. The behavior of the employees, the activities performed in the organization, everything is monitored properly in the controlled system. So this is what is referred to as the controlling process, bringing order and discipline inside the organization. Now S stands for another importance, that is judging accuracy of standards. So this process of controlling helps us in judging the accuracy of standards, that whether we have set the standards in the right manner or not in the changing situation, according to the changing environmental conditions. Are we dynamic enough to accommodate the standards as per the plans or not, and time to time are we reviewing or revising the standards in the light of such changes. So it is an important aspect of controlling. So this is all about GOTS. Now if we see CRM, it is nothing but C, bringing coordination to the environment of the organization, because controlling provides a direction to all the activities, and each department is better controlled in a standardized format and well coordinated manner. So this is point C. Now R represents the efficient use of resources by the organization once it is running in a controlled manner, because everything when runs in the controlled manner, it reduces wastages and spoilage of resources, and thereby we are utilizing the scarce resources in the most effective and efficient manner if the organization is well controlled. The last point being M reflects motivation to the employees, because in a controlled system, the organization is always telling the employees that what they are expected to do and what are the standards they should achieve they should strive to achieve. So these helps them in their performance appraisal, the examination of the performance of individual employees and making corrections required, and also training them from time to time in order to motivate them for better performance all the time. So these are the importance of controlling, which is another important topic from this chapter. Now moving on to the last topic, that is the link between planning and controlling. So see student, this is one of the thriving topic from this chapter, which may come this year, because clearly the sample paper shows a question on this for 4 marks. So we are supposed to know the relationship between planning and controlling. As you see, the planning is the first and foremost step in the function of management. And if we talk about controlling, it is the last, or we say the 5th step, because the functions of management involves POS, DC. So first and 5th, there is some link, because as you know students, the management is always a cyclic process. As we discussed earlier, it is a continuous process that goes on and on. So there has to be some link between the last step, 5th, and again the first step, that is planning. So they are interlinked, and very smartly the NCERT book has been telling us regarding these points, that how they are both. First of all, you should know students that planning is both a forward looking as well as backward looking function. Similarly, controlling is also both forward and backward looking. Generally, we believe that planning is forward looking and controlling is backward looking. That is true. Let us see how it is, because plans are prepared for future and they are based on the forecast. So necessarily planning is forward looking process. But when we say controlling is also the post-mortem of past activities and the deviations and the actual standards that have been set. So controlling is necessarily a backward looking function this way. So this is the right way to see the two processes, that controlling is backward looking and planning is forward looking process. But the last line, the concluding line of this topic is very important students, that clearly says that since the planning is guided by the past experiences and corrective actions which are initiated by the process of control, so we can also say that planning is also backward looking. Similarly, controls are exercised in order to formulate the better plans for the upcoming future, taking concerns from the back or past performances. Therefore, it aims at improving the future performance, and hence planning and controlling both backward as well as forward looking. तो दोनों ही functions बैकवर्ड लुकिंग भी है बच्चों, और दोनों ही फंक्शंस फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग भी है. तो इसके लिए बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन किया गया एनसीईआरटी की ये कुछ लाइनें, जो कि आपको पेज 205 पे दिखेंगी. तो यहाँ से आप इस लाइन को जरूर पढ़ें और इसके लिए आप ये कॉन्सेप्ट को कंप्लीट करें. दैट प्लानिंग यू कैन ऑलवेज एक्सप्लेन फॉर 4 marks that planning is both forward and backward looking, as well as controlling also is a function that is both forward and backward looking. Now let us have a closer look on a few questions that have been asked in this year's sample paper from these topics. So the first question is an assertion and reason type. Here it says controlling can prevent deviations, and controlling helps in minimizing deviations by taking actions and decisions that reduce their recurrence. So altogether, prevention of deviations is not possible, howsoever controlled manner the organization may run, but complete prevention from the deviations is not possible. So assertion is not true, but yes, reason is definitely true because it aims at minimizing the deviations, and that is the very base of controlling, that it helps in minimization or putting the deviations in a controlled manner in an organization. So assertion is false, but reason is true. So the option D is the correct answer for this question. Now the next one, this is a case-based question that is said to point out the significance of controlling, as we just now discussed, the importance or significance of controlling, which are governed by the acronym GOTS CRM. And we're supposed to say, even if you see the option, students, G, goals, this is G. Then order and discipline, so O and D also you have got here. Then C, R, M, out of them you have got motivation, and R for resources. So out of these you have to select one. Spiceworks, a company providing financial services to its clients, keeping a close check on the employees' activities using biometric and retina scanning as modes of accessing the face premises, accessing the face of the employees through this retina scanning and biometric in order to ensure greater security of information in the organization. So this step has been taken by the organization, like use of biometrics and retinal scan. So which it is not pointing towards the goals of the enterprise, because nowhere it is talking about its objectives. Order and discipline can be ticked because yes, this step is leading to a more disciplined environment so that there is no unauthorized entry to the organization and security of information is preserved with the organization. So definitely yes, it is O and D. And motivation regarding employee satisfaction or their morale has not been talked about here. Optimum utilization of resources can also be closed because they have been, nothing is written as such that it is using its own resources or something for this. Rather, they have said that to put a close check on the employees' activities, the biometric and retinal scanning have been used in the premises. So order and discipline, this is nothing but the function of controlling as to bring order and discipline in the environment. Now, the last question is a link between planning and controlling, as we just discussed. Planning is also said to be the backward as well as forward looking, and same goes for controlling. This function is also backward and forward looking. So this is again a good question, students, which may appear this year also in your board exam. The first step in controlling process is setting up performance standards, no doubt, because in the process of controlling we have seen SNCDC, the acronym. Now explain the subsequently two steps. Other two steps you are supposed to explain. So this is a chronological order in which the process has to be conducted. So there cannot be any change or reshuffling of the letters in the acronym. So since it is already talking about the standards being set, we are left with another 4 steps, that is measurement of actual standards with then the comparison of actual with the standard set, then finding out and analyzing the deviations, and ultimately taking the corrective action. So the next 2 steps in line will be the second and the third step. You need to talk about M and C, measurement of actual performance and comparison of actual with the standard set. So that's all from this chapter, students. I hope it is very clear. Thank you.